Let's start by understanding what the hasty generalization fallacy actually is. This logical error occurs when someone makes a sweeping statement based on very limited evidence. Imagine seeing just a small part of a picture and assuming you know the whole story. For example, you might meet a couple of rude people from a city and then decide that everyone from that city must be rude. That's a classic hasty generalization. The key problem is that the conclusion is much broader than the evidence supports. It's important to recognize this fallacy because it can lead to unfair judgments and misunderstandings. As we move forward, we'll look at some real-life examples to see how this plays out. Let's dive into a few examples to make this clearer. Suppose someone says, "I met two rude people from that city, so everyone there must be rude." That's a hasty generalization because the sample size is way too small to justify such a big claim. Another example, this one product broke after a week, so the brand makes bad products. Again, the evidence is limited to just one product, but the conclusion covers the entire brand. These examples show how easy it is to fall into this trap. The main issue is that the evidence doesn't support the broad statement being made. Next, we'll talk about how to avoid making this mistake in your own reasoning. So, how can you avoid the hasty generalization fallacy? The most important thing is to make sure your conclusions are based on enough evidence. Good reasoning takes time and requires a larger sample before making a general statement. Whenever you hear a broad claim, ask yourself, is this conclusion based on enough examples? If the answer is no, it's probably a hasty generalization. By being mindful of this, you can make fairer, more accurate judgments and avoid falling into the trap of faulty reasoning. Remember, careful thinking helps us see the bigger picture and make better decisions.